What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. I've got a pretty breathtaking replay to show you guys, and this is really showcasing the power of the new Pendulum Magicians. I talked about these guys yesterday, but a lot of times it's hard to kind of visualize how competitive cards can be when you're just kind of like reading them and trying to think about how they work. When you see decks in action, especially against other competitive decks, it gives a little more clarity to how a deck's going to work, how it's going to operate. And I've got to say, these cards, the new Pendulum Magicians, they seem to be more focused on doing like high amounts of battle damage extremely quickly. You know, a lot of people who played like Pepe Magicians, I'm not talking about like Perform a Pound friends, like, you know, after Breaker of Shadows, like that tier 0 build. I'm talking about when the Pendulum structure that came out. You know, a lot of the builds were kind of focused around like grinding or making like Naturia beasts. People would play like Apex Avian and Kieran in the main deck, so it was like a little bit of a grindy deck. This deck just does a fucking ton of battle damage, and it does it very quickly. And I know a lot of people complain in my replays that I don't show, like, I'll show one deck going off against a deck that's not competitive. Like, come on guys, this is Minerva's Horn, so you guys can't be like, oh, this is not a competitive. Come on, this is a amazing deck in the format right now. And he opens godlike. I mean, he opens with Brilliant Fusion. He gets Minerva. He draws a card off Minerva. He's going to go for Omega, sniping out Magicians out of this guy. Not just one Omega, by the way. He's going to summon like 3 fucking Omegas. And this is going to be basically a god tier opening play. Like, that's the second Omega, RIP to another Magician out of your hand. And there is, oh baby, a triple. Goodbye to Oath Dragon. And he doesn't even end there. He goes for Tsukuyomi. And finally, he ends up drawing another card. Now, and you know, Minerva's Horn, he doesn't have that many cards left in his deck. Everything else he's going to draw is going to be pretty much like not that great. It's basically, you know, sniping out 3 cards with the Omegas, but just watch how this guy is able to turn this around. A lot of it has to do with obviously him opening with Pendulum Call. But this card, hold on, I have to talk about this card. I did not really think that much of Toon Magician. I have to say, I don't think I made a video on this card, but if I did, I'd have been like, oh, it's an okay card. No. This card is fucking ridiculous. So basically, when you Pendulum summon this card, you get like, you summon another Magician Pendulum monster from your deck in defense position, but it obviously can't be the same. Like, it can't be another copy of Toon Magician. And it's really important because now that you have a whole bunch of level 4s, it means that basically she's a 1-card Ignister. Like, you just Pendulum summon her, you get another Magician in defense mode, and then like it's fucking a 1-card Ignister. Like, what? So he does end up blocking the Ignister because he didn't want to I guess get his Minerva spun. He does end up blocking it with Fairy Tail, but you see, even though he didn't lose his Minerva, it does kind of hurt him because he ends up losing one of his Omegas. Remember how he made 3 Omegas turn 1? Well, he kind of locked up his field too much. So since the Fairy Tail Snow is on the board, one of his Omegas basically gets trapped in the graveyard and it doesn't, you know, it's not able to come out to play. So he goes into battle phase and he's able to clear these monsters out, and he gets the guy, the Pendulum player, almost to 0. And once again, he's going to snipe his hand out. So again, this Pendulum player he's not playing with, like, he's basically, he hasn't had full resources the entire game. He goes for Abyss Dweller. I didn't quite understand that one. I thought that was like, what? Abyss Dweller versus Pendulums? Lol, didn't get that. But he did end up top decking another Toon Magician. This card is, oh god, this card is too good. So he Pendulum summons again, activates Toon, activate Oath, and this is where he's just gonna go the fuck off, guys. So he goes into the new Xyz. I'm probably gonna talk about this card tomorrow. You guys will probably see on Thanksgiving. It's called Star Time Magician, and basically it's made with 2 Magician Pendulum monsters, and it searches a Dart Spellcaster monster. And yeah, one of the first things that I thought about was, hold up, now you can just search Joker? Like, what? So yeah, you can search Skull Combat Joker, which we know basically searches everything in the deck. Now here's where shit gets nutty, right? Because he's gonna start activating his Pendulum monsters, Pendulum effects. So first he activates Iris Magician, right? And he targeted the Star Time Magician. That means that this card, all the battle damage it does is going to be doubled. Now, it's only 2400 attack. People are like, oh, well, 2400 attack, double battle. That's not anything, Cap. Just wait. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. He's going to make Dinoster. So now he's going to play, he ends up playing the he plays the Black Fang. Oh my god, I can't speak. The Black Fang Magician. This is the one that blows itself up, but it cuts a monster on your opponent's side of the field in half. Like, it cuts the attack down. So Abyss Dweller was, you know, it's not very strong to begin with. It's only 1700, but now it's 850, and it's like, better watch out now. It can be a little dangerous. Goes for Trapeze Magician, right? Now this thing can attack twice. So again, it's going to do double battle damage, and it can attack twice, but it gets even better than that. He uses his final magician in the pendulum scale. Oh goodness, I can't click. There we go. Violet poison magician, and it gains 1200 attacks. So I don't know if you guys saw that, but he ended up attacking and doing 5500 battle damage on one attack. So it's kind of crazy. Like there's so many ways to manipulate attacks and damage in this deck now, and it's strange because I don't really think that magicians had that. Like they didn't kind of work on that angle before, and now that you can now make, or now that Trapeze Magician is kind of like relevant again because you have all of these level 4 spellcasters, this deck can do a whole lot of battle damage. And again, blowing up your skills really doesn't matter because if you're just going to kill your opponent, like, you know, you don't really care about your skills. Also, what's it called? Pendulum Graph, you know, generally it can just replace like the monsters that you blow up. But this is kind of crazy. You know, I think that seeing is believing, and I wasn't sure exactly how the deck is going to work, but it seems like it's a little more synchro focused, and it seems like it's got a more emphasis on rank 4s now. I'm super happy to see Trapeze Magician like relevant again because that was actually one of my favorite cards as far as like Performapal and Friends, like out of that deck. And when Plush Fire and like Damage Juggler got banned, this card basically just was like, you know, no one ever played it again. So hopefully they make this card as like a super rare or something like that. But anyways, I just wanted to show you guys a quick replay, show you some ways that the deck could operate, and it does a lot of battle damage, and does a lot of battle damage quick because again, this was only his second turn and he completely like mounted triple Omega plus Tsukiyumi plus Abyss Dweller plus Minerva and all that other shit. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already.